And welcome everyone, Emric XV here and welcome back to the Sphere. And today, we find ourselves back in the spawn chunk. That's right, we went and defeated the Ender Dragon in the last episode and we went out to the End Islands to find a few things. Rockets, Elytra, and a dragon egg. So in today's episode, we're going to start looking at some plans. And I'm going to start mapping some of our areas before we build a storage room, because our pockets at the Desert Temple are getting very full. Let's get over there. So, we are back here at our Desert Temple. And we've got to work out some plans for our storage because it's getting a little out of hand. And I don't want to muck around too much internally on this Desert Temple. So, my plan is to make a storage room over on the platform that we made on the edge of the river between here and our nether portal. So we'll do that a little bit later. But first up, here is just some of the bounty that we got out in the End Islands. So while I rummage through my ender chest, find my maps, there they are, I'm just going to give you a few of the highlights that we had out in the end portal. Well, there it is. This is our current map around our Desert Temple. And it actually worked out really well with the Desert Temple being right in the middle of this 3x3 map art. Well, it's not map art, map. So you'll see that our actual area here is pretty much an island. Unfortunately, the map just misses down the bottom here, an area where the river sort of hooks all the way around. And my plan is to really look at terraforming the whole area. You can see the crops running along the edge of the river, and it's all starting to green up. And that's sort of what I want to see going all the way around. And I know it's a desert biome with a little bit of badlands, but yeah, that's the general plan. I have noticed that we may have to extend the landmass, particularly over in this section here, over near our neighboring village, which you can just sort of see here, because what I'm looking at there is actually all desert. There was a bit of a sugarcane sort of peninsula. And that's all desert, but it's underwater. So I might actually even extend the landmass right out to the edge of the river biome. And I think there might be a little bit over here where you can see this little island. And our storage room is going to be over this direction, where we built that path before we went into the nether. I'm really happy with how that turned out. We're going to have to look at it from up here, but that's the plan so far. So let's kick on with this episode. Let's go have a look at getting this storage building done, because the chests here in the desert temple are just getting a little bit out of hand, and I want to neaten it up just a bit. Maybe I'll keep these double chests here, but we're definitely starting to see some overflow of gear, blocks, materials, all that sort of stuff. And we're going to have to start finding proper homes for all our blocks. So we're going to kick on with this episode. We're going to go build a storage room over on this form dock over here. And yeah, see what we can do. So this will be the area we are looking at setting up our main storage building at the start of the sphere. I'm not sure if this will be big enough to suit all our needs in this world, but definitely a start, and hopefully should just add to this little platform. So I'm going to get a bunch of the resources underway, and we're going to get building. So here is the storage building in all its glory. I've got most of the detailing now done and a good bunch of the chests in, and I'm hoping this storage facility will keep me in chest supply for quite some time. I still got to add a few more chests in here, but for the most part, we're looking pretty good. Added a little bit of furnace area off the back corner here. So this has just got 6 normal furnaces in and 3 of the blast furnaces in. So I need a heap of glass. So I think I can get 6 stacks and a bunch of coal. And now I think I just have to put a stack in at a time for now. This may be expandable, and I think just 8 or so coal. This may be expandable by adding extra hoppers and maybe a couple of extra chests for, you know, feeding into these furnaces. But for now, it's gonna suit our needs quite nicely. So I'm just going to start getting a bunch of this glass smelted up. We won't use the blast furnace for it. Just use the normal furnaces. And basically just start smelting all that up so that we have got a good supply of glass coming in. Because what I want to look at doing next is really just get around the area and focus on some plans for some new builds. Oh, I'm running a little bit low on coal, so I'll just have to top that up. That'll do. Right, so glass starting to feed in to these little, I guess, smelteries, which I just thought was a nice little addition to the back end of the storage room here. I've got stacks of raw ore there that I can start smelting up as well. Just when I've got the time, I'll just whack some in. I should probably do some right now while I'm here. Let's do some copper. Already had a bit in there. We'll top that up. So yeah, nice little addition. The smeltery and the storeroom. Upstairs, I'll just give you a little bit of a tour. More chests. Most of our nether loot is up here and our end loot. I've still got to put some mechanisms on top of the roof here. But I need a couple of specific resources that I wanted and I had in mind. Sort of solar panel sort of idea that I wanted to build on that. But I do need to find crying obsidian. I know that's a pretty rare block. But hopefully I can collect up a bit of crying obsidian to make some solar panels and see how it goes. I think it might have a nice effect. But yeah, just final storeroom up here. Very basic little sleep out room. And just a nice little, I guess, patio so that we can look over the area. Now, there is another village in the distance there, so we will have to start exploring some of these distant villages because we've got our village over there, which I would like to do some renovations on, make it a little safer for the people over there, maybe add a few villages to it. But yeah, we'll start going around the area here and I'll talk to you about what I've been doing other than building this because I've been quite busy on the far side of this island here. I've got a bunch of ideas in regards to terraforming this island, but we sort of need other bits and pieces, farms and the like, to really sort of get it sorted out. So I may lock off this map as the original map that we placed down and then start making a few more with the additions because our storage room hasn't been added to here, our little iron farm over here, and I think that might be it, but I do have a bunch of dirt which I want to start creating more fields. I want to start building more fields along the edges of this island. And what you can see here, I think this is like flooded desert. So my plan, and maybe that's where I should get started, my plan is to sort of get this filled with crops and sand and basically, yeah, just fill in all the areas of the desert. But we might start with this little area first, see if that's feasible, start filling. And we'll go from there. You'll see just here, we have spent a decent amount of time terraforming the backside of this island here. And it covers quite a space. You'll see this little pond here on the map is pretty much as it was, but the rest of this area was all sort of desert initially. And I'm pretty happy with how it's all come out. There's definitely a bit more work that we need to do. I noticed that we do have some, I guess, dark areas on top of the solid blocks like the melons here and the pumpkins. So I have to work out some ideas to sort of spawn proof some of these areas. But I loved mucking around with this sort of fake crop here. We've got like a combination of, I guess, leaf blocks and terracotta and dead trees, and then I sort of started making these mangrove roots on top of like birch fences just to sort of create what appears to be some other sort of crop, and I quite like it sort of mixed in with the other sort of more useful crops. So I see, when I look at the size of this island, I see a lot of this sort of irrigation happening all the way around the edge, feeding off the river. And yeah, definitely incorporating a few more of these. Yeah, a few more of these sort of custom crops. Because there's a few bits and pieces I haven't actually put in this farming area. Things like the glowberries, and obviously I haven't seen a spruce biome yet. So looking for the prickly bushes, or sweetberry bushes, I think they're called, to sort of start adding a few more textures and stuff through this terraforming that we're starting to do on the edge of the river. If you'd like to see how this was built, little plug, you can check out the long play series. I have actually put together a bit of a long play sort of series within the sphere, and I'd really appreciate your feedback and support on that long play series. It's just a bit of a chill building video with a bit of nice music and some sound effects. And yeah, I've been enjoying sort of bringing those long play videos to you. So yeah, check that out. It's all in within the Spheres playlist, and coming out when I can spend time on a big project like this and just, you know, hit record and just build, and yeah, great little video to put together, and I hope you're enjoying it. Looks like we've got a thunderstorm coming, so we may have to do some sleeping, but we might have a bit of time. Majority of this island is now got torches all over it. We've got one area here where we've been having some issues with creepers, which I don't really mind because we really want to make a creeper farm. So I think one of my next builds here on the sphere will be creeper sun house. I have a bit of an idea of making a creeper farm, but I guess decorating it to be more of a greenhouse type sort of setup build. Haven't quite worked out how it will go together yet, but this little pocket, not far from the desert temple, I think we're going to look at a creeper farm with a decoration and sort of a solar feeling sort of sun house that goes over the top of it. And then obviously start really bringing in some more color onto this island. The crops are really good. They still maintain a nice lush green color. One thing I have noticed is the leaves. When you have a look at the leaves on the tree farms here. Oh, here we go. It's a creeper, and here we see if I can get it. Whoa! Can we get another? Come on, shoot him. Oh, no. Didn't work. Sorry. Trying to get a record there. Right. This. Only real dark area I've got left. So, a few mob spawns here. There is a couple of little black areas over on this. Dark areas over on that side of the island. But yeah, this is pretty much the last of the sort of spawnable spaces for monsters on the island. As we have a spider spawn in front of our very eyes. And yeah, so the leaves here are, I have to admit, pretty dull because it's a desert biome, because it's a hot biome. The leaf textures tend to yellow off, dry out. The one leaf texture that I have seen that works is the ones that I put on the desert temple initially, and that's the azalea leaves. So we definitely still, as I hear another, I hear a skeleton. Might be a cave underneath here, which we need a spawn proof. Anyway, the azalea leaves keep a fair, illustrious sort of green, lush look. So I think a lot of our terraforming is gonna rely on azalea leaves and moss. So there's a few little farming ideas there that I sort of have to be able to start collecting up those materials. I might just go to bed. I've been doing a fair bit of terraforming over the other side there, and obviously still got a lot more to go, but got to fix this pickaxe as well. If I... Oh, that's a bit of a cheat, isn't it? That's me. Definitely already done some terraforming on this island. Right, so, you know, if we get some bone meal together, I'm pretty certain, yeah, nothing happens. So, if it's stone, different story. So, I think I might have some stone, or I may have put, I've got a stack there. That will give us a bit of an example. So, you know, when we've got stone up in an area like this, we can drop that moss block in, bone meal it, and there you go. So now we've got moss. And that might be as simple as maybe a cobblestone generator or a stone generator that gives us... Can I turn the rest of this into moss? Yeah. That gives us a heap of those resources to... What if I end up putting moss block next to that? Yeah, so only affects that smooth, that natural stone texture. So, but that's all right. Look, I mean, not an issue. I honestly need the sand. Creeper farm's really important to me because I'm looking at some TNT mining. So I want to get that TNT going. And then when you think about the amount of sand that I can just pull off this island just here alone, yeah, I don't think we're going to have any issues with supplying ourselves with TNT. So, oh, look, so many ideas, so many things to do. It's just trying to get them down on a piece of paper and really start prioritizing what my next project is, because, you know, once you've sort of finished that game, you've beaten the Ender Dragon, it's always always find a bit of a trick to sort of, you know, move on to that next step. And I do have some really cool ideas. So, yeah, that's sort of what I'm looking at. But yeah, I mean, I've talked for long enough. I've got to get into some work, I guess. The only other thing, now I think about it, one more thing. The sphere. The sphere mining strategies. So, a couple of episodes ago, we had a look at doing a 1 hour caving session, a 1 hour strip mining session, 1 hour branch mining session, and a 1 hour TNT mining session. And I sort of worked out seeing how many resources, mainly the big resources, the diamonds, redstone, those sorts of things, the valuable resources, how many we would get and which mining strategy was the best for picking those up. And the first round was TNT mining. So I'm going to do it again. This time I've got a diamond pick. So a diamond pick for every single type of mining. So yeah, I want to see what I collect in an hour of caving versus an hour of strip mining, an hour of branch mining, and an hour of TNT mining with a diamond pick this time. It just gives me a bit of a time frame to go and just collect a bunch of resources, and usually collect a heap of blocks on the way. And yeah, I want to know what you think is going to be the best one. Is TNT going to win again? Or we're going to get some success in some of these other areas. And then I might do this system again, but with like an efficiency diamond pick or something like that, or a netherite pick. I'm not really sure. But for now, we're going to have a basic diamond pickaxe. We're going to have these 4 mining strategies, and we're going to see how many resources we get. So maybe let me know in the comments what you think's going to take the cake, what's going to win. And I'll come back to you in the next episode and let you know. So with that all said, we're going to wrap up episode 7 of The Sphere. And I just wanted to take this opportunity to thank you all so much for your support on this series. It's been an absolute blast to get back into Minecraft, to be fair. And I've got a couple of really cool ideas. I've just got to start pointing myself in a direction and yeah, pick the next thing to do. So once again, everyone, thank you so much for sticking around and watching these episodes, and we'll see you in the next one. Have a great one.